Here. Is it, oh, you have it turned. You have it muted, right? Test, test. By the way, I don't think I adequately gave you guys kudos for that. Oh, thanks for. Test, test. Because, like, I'm not, like, hearing it.
How's the temperature, ladies?
It's fine. I need it. I have.
I have nothing.
Test, test, test. Right, 'cause it's not, like, you'd hear, like, on the speaker. Yeah, the light's on. Do you have to reset the whole system? I think we should.
Yeah.
Let's give us, we'll start 5 minutes late. We already
Yeah.
We gotta,
Our audio
we
system
gotta
is not.
reset our AD.
It's back, Justin. Well, the green light was back.
Okay, let me try this.
And they were originally at three.
Don't tap on. The light is back on. I need to. He was gonna be like, look, you have to show up, but look, I gotta put you in crisis mode
Right.
anyway.
Somebody like go on and confirm that in fact they can't hear.
Cause I know I'll think of you every step of the way.
So,
We got Whitney this morning.
And
live broadcast, because we're already live.
I'll always
With you.
would always love you.
Right. Can you? Here?
Test. I can't hear.
This morning. We can't get this together.
Hearing.
Lights holding me up before we get out.
Is
Yeah.
all I am taking
I can hear it.
with me.
Mics are picking up.
So
Some mics
We
are
can hear
picking
you
up.
singing in live broadcast, by the way.
don't cry.
So there's some
Our
mics.
speaker.
I'm not
It's something with our speakers.
you need.
Okay.
We live?
Yeah, you like it?
Yes.
Uh-oh.
So the broadcast can hear it.
You say.
I know, we know.
Yeah, we just figured that out.
So we understand.
Our speaker is not working.
Well, the speaker ain't live.
Okay, so our speakers here in the room are not working, but our microphones are working.
You can tell me
So
I was,
we
you
can-
can tell me I was singing live.
Okay, so we can have the meeting, it's just inside the room. We don't have a.
Okay, I'm charging for that concert.
Yeah.
There's a fee for that concert. You didn't tell me that part.
The licensing fees.
Yeah, it's a licensing fee. Good Lord. Good Lord. You
Nicole
didn't tell me
figured
that.
it out.
Nicole,
Yours.
Nicole, I would like to have my fee for that concert. Me and Ticketmaster have an agreement. Didn't nobody tell me that part. Okay.
All right.
Yeah. Tell me when we're ready. Oh, Lord. We are. We're ready? All right. I gotta quit laughing first, so. All right, hola, good morning. It is Thursday, the 11th of June, and I'm calling to order the West County Wastewater Finance and Administration Committee meeting. It is 9:11 a.m. Madam Clerk, will you please call the roll?
Present.
I am here. Gracias, appreciate. Ada. Now is the time for public comment for items not on the published agenda. Madam Clerk, have we received any public comments or requests to speak?
We have not received written comments, but if anyone wishes to comment on non-agenda items, please approach the podium or raise your hand in Zoom. Seeing none, we have no public comments.
Gracias, appreciada. And Deputy General Manager Justin Lovell, I will now ask you if you will please lead us through the remainder of the agenda, sir.
All right, good morning, Madam Chair.
Thank you.
Item 1 on the agenda is to accept the minutes of May 14th, 2026 Finance and Administration Committee meeting. Madam Clerk, have we received written comments on this item or requests to speak?
We have not. If anyone wishes to comment on item 1 minutes, please approach the podium or raise your hand in Zoom. Seeing none, we have no public comments.
Director King Meredith.
Yes. Madam Chair, I would like to accept the minutes.
All right, and so I have concurrence. Next, sir.
All right. Item 2 on the agenda is to receive an update on the Project Labor Stabilization Agreement Communications. Madam Clerk, have we received written comments on this item or requests to speak?
We have not. If anyone wishes to comment on item 2, PSLA Communications Update, please approach the podium or raise your hand in Zoom. Seeing none, we have no public comments.
All right, with that, I'd like to introduce Angela Andrews, our Director of Infrastructure and Planning, to give a update on this item.
Today, I just have an oral report regarding the Project Stabilization Labor Agreement, and I will be just discussing the update since the last time I was here. So we had our first quarterly report with Contra Costa Building Trades on January 27th, and our second meeting was on June 8th this week. And we just gave an update of how many folks were part of the Project Stable Labor, how many projects were a part of that agreement that were actually active. So right now, we just have the Clean and Green project. And to give you an update on those numbers, we did receive a report regarding that project on March 2026. And out of 70 employees, we have from 3 companies that reported out as part of that project. We had 2 from Contra Costa, from one company, 6 from another, and 4 from another. So that's a total of 10 employees that are in Contra Costa. Out of that 10, 12. And out of that 12, 1 was in West Contra Costa. They have been doing outreach efforts, and they have done outreach at the apprenticeships as well as the union halls. And I actually attended the Construction Trades Workforce Initiative reception on May 1st. So we've been keeping the communication going. I've been attending events. They have invited me to events as well as other staff members so we can keep the communication going. We also let them know that we plan on giving an update on the CIP in August. So they will have an update of projects that are upcoming that we're going to pursue in the next fiscal year that could be potential PSLA projects, so they can invite their members to make sure they put in a proposal for those projects. But right now, that is the only update I have, but I'm more than happy to answer any questions regarding this quarterly report.
Thank you so much. Director King Meredith?
Yes, okay. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Hold on just a second,
Okay.
just 1 second. Can we turn the air down? Just turn it down. You don't have to heat it up, just if we can, it's just blowing right now. Thank you. Okay, go ahead.
Okay, thank you. And thank you, Angela. Just a question, for me to be clarified and to be able to speak to my constituents when they ask me about hiring and where to go to look for jobs. I had a conversation with an individual that was one of my former students, and I had mentioned to him about the possibilities of going to these workshops when you have these workshops and to get involved, because he was very anxious to get into another job at this point. And so I had told him about the job fairs that we have, and that we had one not too long ago, I guess about 3 months ago, that was laid out and to get, the count from individuals from West County and Contra Costa, period. So my thing is, he didn't have the understanding that in order to fulfill these jobs, you have to have a certain amount of certification in order to be even looked at, and to be able to put your information in for these jobs. And one of the things, he didn't have the understanding that he could have gone to our community college in order to get a job, to even think about employment. So is there stated anywhere to actually lead the individuals when they come to the workshops that you're not just going to get hired in, or you're not just going to become an intern, that in order to further your abilities to be able to fit these jobs, that you will go to your junior college, and therefore it's there for you to be able to apply or to be able to get the skills that you need for these jobs. So what I'm saying, long-winded, is anything there to actually say, go to these colleges, Locke McDonald's, Locke, Contra Costa, is anything laid out,
Yes, they actually, when the event that I attended, it was a reception for graduates of their program. And so folks that were there just visiting, they had just a notebook of information of what are all the steps in order to complete that program, and then what are the opportunities. So what I can do is I could forward to the board clerk the CTWI information. You can also, again, recommend the Contra Costa Community College or local community college. They also have different apprenticeship programs, or the building trades directly. They can guide that person to see what they're interested in, because there's a lot of different trades within the building trades. So I think they can tailor it specifically to what their interests are. But it's very important that they have this training, because these are very technical, but also dangerous jobs. So the training is definitely required before they start work.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I did right. A matter of fact, after the conversation 2 or 3 times during a period of, I say about a couple of months, he had other individuals, and they just stopped. They just didn't pursue it any further. So what I did, I called my board president to make sure that I was telling the information right, and so she concurred, and she explained to them also that you have to go into our junior colleges in order to get these skills to be able to perform the jobs, because you have to have safety criteria also. So anyway, I just wanted, that's a comment. So with that, I'm done, and thank you for your update,
Okay, thanks.
Madam.
Thank you. Yes, and there was also an inquiry yesterday. I was in Sacramento and with Black elected officials. And I actually spoke on a panel about careers in wastewater. And this came up in water and wastewater, but especially under this topic. And this came up. And this came up as in, why don't we know? Again, the secret world of getting into water and wastewater. And so even telling people about this, and they're just like, why don't we know? And why don't we, why isn't the community college saying anything? And why can't we find this in the curriculum? And why can't we find these pathways? And how do we find out? Which is why they asked me to do this panel with Will and Coweth, right? And so being able to speak to this, and not just that, and also with, I know we've had this conversation before about the advertisements from building trades. And so what I still would like, we did receive the flyer, and I passed the flyer around, and I made sure that we passed the flyer around. I think the numbers are going in the right direction. I love it, right? Anything is better than the zeros that we saw.
Yes.
The zeros gave me heartburn. And I love it. And I've checked in with Mr. Saprante about a week ago. So I'm pleased from that angle. I do want to know how we can work, and maybe that's a conversation we can have about how can we work closer with both the trades and the community college to answer these questions for our constituents who are asking us. Because we get these probably a couple of times a week, especially now. It always seems to happen now because school is getting out, there's graduations. I attended the WCC USD graduations. Attended the Black graduation, the API, and then the Latino graduation. And we get bombarded right now. We have students who may not want to go to college, and they're trying to figure out their direction. Our juniors, who are looking at that senior pathway, and their parents are coming to us saying, how do I, so you're on the water board, or you're on the wastewater board? Okay, so can you talk to my child and tell them what they need to do? And so they're just trying to figure it out. And most people have not heard of these jobs and they don't know about them. So I think having something, and maybe Deputy General Manager, this is where we really need something more collateralized, but that's easy to read. Because where you guys hand out, not that there's anything wrong with it, but it's from your aspect. It's from the employer aspect. We need something that's what is going to be good for the 14, 15, 16-year-old to look at. That says, are you interested in this career? When we go to career nights that start now they're starting in 6th, 7th, 8th grade. We just need that one card, that one sheet that says this is what you can do, to hand to the parent, to hand to the child, that says this is how we can work together with the school, with the trades, that says if your child is interested, especially at the high schools, when we go into the high schools, these are careers that sends them there, because by the time they're graduating, they're really, the frustration that I heard in the young man's voice when I was talking to him, the Director King Meredith put him on the phone, he was just frustrated. And he was frustrated because he didn't know how to get through the process. And he had been trying for almost 2 years to get through the process. And he was just very frustrated. And he really wants to do it. He was just getting turned around in circles. So I think going to the Union Hall and being told to do this, and then going to the community college and being told something else, it would just be nice to have just that one card that says, these are the steps. Once you take these steps, then come over here.
Yep, I could take that back to Mr. Cervantes so we can see if we can get some information to you all.
That would be really nice for us to have something, and it would be really good for us to have that collateral that we can hand out too, when we're,
Right.
not only when we're speaking to people in a formal setting, but just to have, if somebody asked us, and we can say, oh, contact, go to CTWI, or go to, the Building Trades has this program, or Contra Costa has this program, but it's all on one sheet.
Okay.
That would be really good for us to have, not just when they're having an event, but just period. That would be good to have, because I think, we can't make them have more numbers in West County, but we can help with the outreach as well.
Okay. Okay.
That's doable, right? I think.
Yeah, I think it's more, just coordinating with our existing partners, because that's what they're doing.
Yeah.
And so I think that's something we can have a conversation with them and see how we can.
Because even if the jobs
try
aren't
that,
here, it's actually, for me, is more that there's only so many jobs in West County. But I would like to be able just to answer the question, right? Okay, so how am I getting those jobs? At least we're getting them in the pipeline.
Right.
And if that job leads them to Central Sands or to Stige or to Contra Costa Water or to East Bay Mud, so be it. But it might lead them back here to West County. But it's not being able to answer the question about how they get in the pipeline is very frustrating.
Yeah. And, we're a member familiar with Bay Work.
Right.
And so that is one of the initiatives of Bay Work, is to get more workers in the water and wastewater field in the Bay Area. So that's something we can bring up with them of what their outreach is. A lot of how we get we've hired some Bay Work interns in the past, and that's something that we could work towards of, well, they're getting it from the community college students that are already in like a wastewater program. So but your question is, how do a high school student know that a wastewater program exists?
It's that part.
And so those
Yeah.
are things that we can start having conversations with our partners about,
Yeah.
and like how we can just support them in getting it's really an outreach and marketing where those opportunities are.
Or if they've just recently graduated high school and they want to be in the program, how do they, how do they get there, right? And how do they get there? And do we have some kind of collateral that we can give them?
Connect.
Because a lot of them, if you talk to them, it's gonna go in here and come out here. Because by the
they're
time
not
they get from
connecting.
us to the car, something's happened.
Yeah.
They forgot. I want to give them something, a card or something, that when they get home, they can look at it and say, oh, that's right. Because I can give them my card and then they call me and say, can you remind me what you say the process is, right? So when I give them something tangible or I give them my digital, they remember, they do follow up. So it'd be nice if, even if it's no paper, if it's a digital card that I can give them that says, here's the process. Or these are the classes you need to take, even if it's in high school. These are the classes you should take to prepare you for the community college course. Or if you're so inclined, you can take them while you're in high school. You can take these community college courses that'll get you prepared. So when you come out of high school, you can go straight into this career. Because there's that dual program at Contra Costa. But I just want to be able to give them something. Or people, the other side of that, my other question is this. What also came up last week when we were talking, and then yesterday, was not necessarily high schoolers or college students. It was people making transitions, people who are being laid off from their other jobs, but who still have a while to go before they can retire, and they're making transitions in their work. How do they transition their skills into transferable skills into this workplace? And it's not just, hip boots in the streets. It could be in the administrative end, the accounting or something else end. How do they transition into the world of water and wastewater? So it's the same kind of thing. So, or project management under the PSLA. So I think same thing. It's how do they find out about that, right? Because we have some construction managers, we have some project managers who may be seeking jobs under the PSLA, and how do they find out about those as well? Okay? So I think it's just that communications piece that I would like to be able to tell them this is the avenue that you need to take.
Right.
Because it's still part of building trades, the construction manager and that kind of project management. It's not just swinging the hammer or turning the wrench, but the higher level ones who are trying to get back into the fold from another job.
Yep.
Okay?
Okay.
So if you can find that out, that would be great. But these are numbers look great. I'm looking forward to the other report. And then thank you for the update on the CIP, that you're going to do the CIP update in August, because that's what we had asked about.
Yes.
The outreach looks great. More outreach is always good. They have another event coming up, right?
I have not received an invitation for another event yet.
I think he mentioned to
but-
me they have one coming
Okay,
up.
so they're probably, okay, great.
And do you know when the next CTWI Academy is starting, or?
I do not know that.
Okay, if
but
you
we
find out, can
we
you let
find
us
that
know?
information.
And we can do some outreach as well?
Okay,
Okay, thank you.
thank you.
Thank you.
All right, so item 3 on the agenda is to review requests for proposals issued and contracts executed under the general manager's authority. Madam Clerk, have we received written comments on this item or requests to speak?
We have not. If anyone wishes to speak on item 3, contracts review, please approach the podium or raise your hand in Zoom. Seeing none, we have no public comment.
All right, with that, I'd like to introduce Maria Bagley, our finance manager, just to go over the report that is attached to the agenda packet and answer any questions you may have.
Good morning,
Morning.
Chair Suddeth and Director King Meredith. Maria Bagley, the Finance Director. Right here, what you have in front of you is the general manager's, entered into contracts under general manager's authority. So far for this quarter, we've entered into 13 different contracts. 5 of those happen to be CUPCA. And we also had, one of the CUPCAs was actually an amendment for one of the pump stations, which is the last one on the bottom of that page, Bartley Pump. With that, I'm here to take any questions or answer anything regarding this report.
First thing is, can you tell the audience what CUPCA is? You knew I was going to ask that question.
I don't know the
Off the top
acronym.
of mine is California Uniform. I'm just reading from the report.
Uniform.
Oh,
California
I cut it
Uniform
off.
Public Contract, Construction Cost Accounting Act.
Thank you. Sorry, my report has it cut off on there.
Thank you for saying that. And we use that in lieu of the
Muscle memory.
okay, and we are, and this report is executed contracts under the general manager's authority that's been granted by the board, and you are presenting this. Why?
At the request of the F&A committee for that period of time since the last one, March 1st through May 31st.
Right, and this will be going to the board when? This will also be going to the board, right?
We can put that up for the board at the
It
next
is
meeting.
under the, it does go to the board quarterly, this report.
That's what I
under items from staff. I
Yeah.
believe this one will be going not in the next meeting, but it'll be in July.
So what I'm getting to is that it periodically comes to the board
Yes.
as part of board policy, right? I'm just getting you to say it for the record. Why you're
That is
presenting,
correct.
why
It's-
you're presenting this report. I just want you to say for the record why you're getting, not only because we asked for it, but as a matter of policy. Can you just state that just for the record?
Yeah, as the board has delegated certain spending authority level to the general manager, we are providing the board a report of those contracts that were issued under the general manager authority, so you're aware of what kind of spending has been occurring or what obligations we've been making our county wastewater into and for what purpose.
Great. And how does this track with our strategic plan?
Well, the specific items may adapt to the strategic plan.
No, just the
A lot of
report.
this is operating, it's just, the reporting is related to our goal on financial and transparency in there. Yep. Thank you, Maria.
There you go. That's all. I just wanted you to say that for the record.
Got it.
So it just tracks with transparency and fiscal responsibility, right? Okay. With that, Director King Meredith, now we'll get to the questions. So I just wanted that on the record. Madam?
Oh, thank you. Am I on? Yeah, thank you. Madam Chair and Ms. Bagley. I don't have any, I just appreciate reading when I have these updates and reports that come before me, and I'm pretty sure others, just to clarify the acronyms that are there. It was just like reading poetry, to actually not trying, it was just the language to read it, verbatim as I read it. So instead of say, okay, what is that one, although we're very familiar with it, but just to read the language as it was. So I appreciate that. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay.
Noted.
Okay, so I always ask this question, and I'm going to ask it again. How is this organized?
It is organized by the chronological order, starting with the earliest one in March, ending with the latest one on May 26th.
Chronological order by contract start date?
Yes. or amendment date, because you can see Bartley Pump was an amendment, so that is when the amendment was executed.
Listed in chronological order by contract start date. Okay. And then we said we were going to, we're going to tie this to, okay, SS. It's me. I have this thing, and I think I said it last time. I have this thing about single source and sole source because those are two different things, right? So is it a single source or is it a sole source?
So you're referring to the one contract that we have that's listed as a,
Single,
because it
it
is the
says
same.
single source or sole source. Is it a single source or is it a sole source? They're two different things. And I
this
think I
one-
mentioned that last time.
Yeah, I don't know if this actually might be,
Sales source.
it's a little single source because there are other
Yeah, it can't,
firms that
there's,
offer the same service,
Exactly.
but it's, we're continuing operating with this particular company because of the
so it's, but it's a
the knowledge
choice.
of,
But
it's a choice to continue with this.
So it's a
with
single
this
source.
firm, yeah. So it's a single source.
Yeah, so I would like I'd like for us to make a differentiation between single source and sole source, right? It's not a single source, it's a sole source. I mean, it's not a sole source, it's a single source. I just, like I said, it's not you, it's me. But I also think it's important that we make that distinction when we're making decisions. So can we just distinguish between that?
Yes, I will update the report before it goes to the board.
Thank you. And then when we're talking about amendments, yes or no, this is a new contract, right?
The Bartley Pump?
All of these that say no.
Correct.
So I just don't think it has to say no, because it's a new contract. So I'm confused when it says amendment and it's saying no, because it's a new contract.
Correct.
So I don't understand why it has to say anything in that field at all, if it's a new contract. I think the only time it has to say something is if it's an amendment,
Okay.
right? I just think it just needs to have that little dash through. It just needs to say something if it's an amendment,
Okay.
right? I mean, that's mine.
Well,
That's my.
As a suggestion, it could just, we could either be, it's either a new contract, yes or no. And then if it's not a new contract, that kind of refers that it's an amendment. But yeah, if, whatever makes the report easier for you to read, we're open
Yeah,
to.
it's contract
Suggestion.
start date. Contract start date. Go ahead, Director King Meredith, what'd you say?
I say, I think it made it easier for me,
Which one?
yes or no?
Okay, well, if it's easier for you, that's,
Yeah.
okay. It's, and like I said, it's me. I read these reports all the time, so if it's easier for you,
Yes.
if it's easier for
me.
you.
Thank
it's-
you.
I will go with what's
Okay.
easier for you. Sometimes what's easier for me just is a whole different subject matter. Okay, so the ones that are closed, tell me what closed means.
We paid, it was completed, we paid the.
So the project's completed.
Right. Or we paid the final invoice, right? It doesn't necessarily have to be a project, because some of these are services. So we could have done all the services. Or software, you can see we have a software, right? So closed means the amount of the contract or that we entered into, we've paid 100% of it. Or we could have closed it because we moved on, or
Yeah, I
there's
don't,
no more money outstanding to that.
yeah,
vendor.
but I don't think that that's what we want to say. I don't think you want to say open or close. I think you want to say that it's paid. Because closed to me means that the project's closed, right? I
So,
think you want is paid, right? Because closed means the contract is closed. Well, that's the way I read it.
the contract could be closed, right? Because if we've exhausted or if it's expired, it would close.
Okay, but that's not what you're saying here.
It could be either or. I didn't go into detail. So that means
I
we're
know.
we're not essentially on the hook or liable for any more funds going to that entity.
I know, but that's what I'm trying to find out. Under status, what does close mean?
Is it terminated or expired?
It could be terminated, expired, or it could be fully paid.
Okay,
If it's fully paid, is it, I'm sorry.
yeah, go ahead.
If it's fully paid, is it, in that case, is it also expired, the contract is concluded?
It could be, right, depending on how long we wrote it for. And I don't have the details of this because we just have the start date. Or, so some of these are terms, so yes, it could be either or. Like the one for Pacific Site Management, you can see the term expired on 5/11. And as of this time, it could be closed, it could be,
But we're assuming if we pay all amounts, and even if there is some remaining term.
We would
that
still-
It will eventually.
yes, that would
expire.
expire and
Further
close.
work is being done.
Right.
Is it, so Madam Chair, is it helpful to have a distinction between, or to have this status refer to active versus expired or terminated?
Yes, because I just think open and close doesn't help me. Is it an active contract?
Okay.
And if it isn't an active contract, if it's expired, or if it's terminated, or if it's truly closed in your words, I would say move those to the bottom.
Okay, so organize it versus by chronological, to organize it by,
You can do chronological, but if it's active on the top, and then if it's, you can do, the expired contract and chronological at the bottom. But, and you can do two tables if you need to. But I want to see the active,
The status of it.
active, still paying, expired, paid, underneath.
okay,
But still ones that have been under his authority. What I don't want you to do is take off the ones that have expired, but that he's still exercised under his authority.
Right.
Because I think we need to see those.
right.
But they need to be separated. What's still active and we're still paying on that he's exercised under his authority. And then the ones that he exercises authority, but they may have been smaller short term, but they've now expired or are expiring by the time the board sees them, right? We might see them like we're seeing it now, that might expire in 2 days or a week.
Afterward.
And then the board sees it and it expired, a few days before the full board sees it, right?
Okay.
But put it in a separate, you can put it in a separate table. Or it might only be one or two, I don't know. Like now, it's only 3 of them here.
2, 3.
It's 3 of them here, but I think, thank you, General Counsel, having status refer to whether it's active or expired is better than open or close. Because to me, open or close means the contract, because it's right next to the contract. The reference to
Chair?
the contract.
If I get a suggestion, perhaps completed might be a appropriate word for some of the work completed. Because because that's really where we're done paying the vendor. We paid all the invoices due, and there's no more work to be done under that contract. But I mean, there are other things where work may not be completed, but it became expired, and we let it expire. I mean, there's a lot of different things that could happen within the
Completed or
contracts.
paid?
Well, I would say completed because it could be completed, but we haven't received the final invoice. But we could mention that as we know that the work is done under the scope of services.
But I'm just interested, is it paid? Do we have any financial obligation? That's what this report is telling me, right? That is $32,000 is the, and the status is still open. You have $3,700 unspent, right?
Right,
So-
in that one, yes.
And it's still open. That's what this says, open. To me, open translates to, is still active. The contract is still active. So you're either still doing work, so we still owe money. And if you're saying completed, you're saying what? What does that mean? Is that there's still work to be done? There's still follow-up reports to be done? We've completed the work, but I haven't paid you the 3,700 until you give me my final report. So in my head, I'm still saying, okay, so I still owe you money, so it's still not paid. So I still want to see it because completed is going to move to a different chart, but I still see this outstanding money. So that doesn't solve my problem.
Okay.
My problem is I want to know where, from a finance committee standpoint, is it still active? Has it been terminated or expired? And do we still owe money on it? Not whether the work, so the work could be done, but you still owe me a deliverable. And if you finish so my last payment to you may be tied to that deliverable. So even though you completed the bulk of the work, right? You may owe me a final report before I give you this final payment. Because that happens a lot, especially with professional services. So when I get that final report, I still owe you $2,500, $13,000, whatever. So I think maybe you might even need two status columns. You might need a status of pay, well, one that says paid or not, right? And then status of the contract. Maybe that's where the problem is. Maybe it's status of the contract and then whether or not it's been paid. Paid in full or whatever. Do you understand what I'm asking?
Yeah, I think we can,
Because the amount
some changes.
unspent is that's the balance due or the balance left on the not to exceed or that's the balance, right?
Correct,
That's the
as
balance,
of May 31st.
That's the
yes.
balance.
so would you like to see what has been paid to date? I think that might be more.
Yes,
you
I think
understand it's
that's-
active,
yeah.
we've paid X number of dollars.
Yes,
You see the total contract, we could show you the balance. You
Yes.
know, there could be a column with the remaining balance. You know,
yes.
okay, so
And
paid
then
and balance.
that balance, and then tell me the status of the contract, and then you can tell us what, the completion status. I think that would be more. On this, just one correction, the word description is spelled incorrect, just FYI, contract description in the header. Okay, I think for me, that was what I wanted to say. So if we can fix those few things. Yeah. I'm okay with, Director King Meredith says it's helpful for amendment, yes and no. So if she says that, it's probably gonna be true for the rest of the board. I told you it was just me. So it's probably just me who has the issue with that. Contract start date, contract number, procurement type, contract type. Yeah. That was it. Salute. Yeah. You good?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Yeah.
We good?
Very good.
Good?
So,
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
All right, thank you. Item 4 on the agenda is reports on issues or matters pertaining to the work of the committee. Madam Clerk, have we received written comments on this item or requests to speak?
We have not. If anyone wishes to comment on item 4, please approach the podium or raise your hand. Seeing none, we have no public comments.
All right.
All right, with that, just let the committee know, our next meeting in July, we are scheduled to have a presentation on the California Air Resources Board Advanced Clean Fleet Program and how what we're doing to comply with those requirements, as well as a discussion on arbitrage as it relates to bond proceeds. So it gets very technical, but we'll give you as much of a primer as part of this presentation as we can next month.
Tickle my heart. Love it. Carb. Yay. Clean fleet requirement.
And that's July,
That's in July.
okay.
Yes. July 9th. So happy. All right, all right. Madam, you have anything?
Not at this time, I say before my full board meeting.
We have a couple of
2 or 3.
community meetings that Director King Meredith and I have been participating in and have scheduled. So we will fill you in. The board meeting on those. I do want to, in July is I believe either the general manager or you, deputy general manager, will be attending the joint CCSD, ACSD meeting with me? Yes?
One of us.
Yes. Yeah, it's in July. Yes.
I believe that one was in, hopefully, isn't it going to be in person, that one? Yeah.
And there is a finance component at that meeting. I will send you, Director King Meredith, the invitation for that one. There's going to be someone from CSDA, and we'll be talking, there's some kind of finance presentation that will be held there about the new finance and fiscal responsibility training for everyone. The only other thing I wanted to tell you guys was there was a push for and I can speak more about these at our board meeting next week, but there's a push for tapping into the state's pooled money investment account to deal with investing in it's AB 2214. It's Dr. Corey Jackson was speaking about it yesterday. And even though it's about housing, it's also the elements that affect us is some of the permitting that will be affected by it and what that looks like for water and wastewater with new developments. So keeping an eye on it, on the PMIA that's associated, the pool money investment accounts that the state has and how they can use that to leverage for new housing developments. So keeping an eye on it and seeing, where that goes, because that could be useful for offsetting some of the costs, the costs for new housing and the rates that we would have to impose on some of those developments. So keeping an eye. And with that was it for me, Madam Clerk.
The next meeting of the Finance and Administration Committee is scheduled for July 9th, 2026 at 9 a.m. here at Hilltop. Nothing further.
Thank you so much. And with that, we get out before 10, 9:57. Meeting is adjourned. Gracias. Love it.
That was it.
Love it.
Very good.
Love it, love it, love it, love it. Start late, get out early.
Yeah.
Always
Well, it started with
always
the
works
traffic.
out. It
Well, it started
always-
with the traffic lights.
It
They
always
were,
works out. They got a free concert, everything works out.
Yeah, those who are listening to the live stream, they We got some
Yeah,
waiting music.
you're right.
Well, it's better than what we used to do at the dentist's office. Yay.
No, that was great.